Next on the call, we've got Mr. Daniel Kirby, new-ish to the industry, not a 5-year or even 1-year industry veteran, but someone who's been here. How many months now, Daniel?
Right, almost out of year, so about 11 months.
All right, 11 months. Okay, so he's approaching his first year and has put himself in a position to be highly educated on all type of leads, and as well nearly pioneered the live transfer movement here at Family First Life. And I'm so excited to have him on here because we see his numbers each and every week continuing to grow, his app count consistently high. And it's only a testament to, one, his belief in himself, his increasement on his skill set, and him adding on new lead types. So Mr. Daniel Kirby, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm real excited to be on with you guys.
We're excited to have you, buddy. So let's just jump right into it. And this is something that I think is very new to a lot of us, only because we've done leads consistently here, from Facebook final expense, direct mail final expense, direct mail mortgage, now internets, and then now we've layered on live transfers. If you could do us all a favor, will you break down what live transfer leads are?
So I'm gonna be honest, you froze for about 20 seconds there.
Okay, so what are live transfer leads? That was basically,
all right, good. So live transfer leads, they come one of two different ways. Call center calls out to the clients, clients call into the call center. They go through a series of vetted questions. As soon as they are ready to be transferred over to an insurance specialist who's going to help them, go through the process, they get transferred to us. My phone rings, says, "Hey, Daniel, I got a live transfer for you. Let me know when you're ready." They send me an email and a text right away with all the information, the vetted questions. I'd say, "Hey, I'm ready to rock and roll." They transfer me over.
No kidding. Okay. So, and now, okay, what's the age parameters generally on these?
So it depends on the lead type. There's kind of a few different lead types. You can do final expense. You can do premium life, standard life. So the two different age ranges are 20 to 45 and 45 to 70.
Okay.
So you can select which you want to do.
Which do you do?
I do the 45 to 70. They're also healthy. There is a non-healthy category as well. So like a substandard life where I guess it's generally people that are answering yes to certain health questions when going through a vetting process. I've had a lot of good success with the premium life, so I'm going to keep going with those. I have a couple agents that have been doing the final expense as well, and they've been enjoying those too.
Cool. Now, how long so let's just say these companies are advertising on TV, they're advertising in magazines, whatever. A client's calling in a number. They're generally, they're self-selecting. They're going, "Hey, I'm interested in this now." They get on the phone with someone. How long is that general conversation before it then comes to you?
From my knowledge, it's anywhere between about 1 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because they do vet them. They're not sending over people who aren't serious. If they say, "Oh, I just wanted this information," or, "Oh, I saw this, and this, oh, is it actually this?" They're helping go through those qualifications for us. So by the time they get to us, they're ready to see what their options are.
Got it. So they're getting some sort of a call. Let me ask you. So what comes to you? So what information are you finding out about them right when they jump on the phone? Like you get a text or an email. What is that? If you have it, or you could just change the name or whatever. What is that information you generally get?
So I get whether they're insured or not, whether they're a smoker, what serious health conditions they have, what medications they have, what coverage they're looking for, their name, their address, their birthday, and name, address, birthday. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So we get, like I said, if they have a medical condition, it'll show up diabetes. If it says medication, it'll say metformin, right?
Got it.
As long as they don't have any major diabetic complications, usually it's not a major issue.
Okay, that's crazy. So you get transferred. "Hey, Dan, you've got someone now. Boom. Now you're on the phone with me," and you go, can we role play, or do you have a standard like opening 37 seconds? You say, like, how does Daniel Kirby take over this to make sure? Because the way live transfers work, by my knowledge, is you have a chance to not take the call, right? Can you explain that part?
Right. So what I do, I'm transferred over to you, Grady, right? And I say, hey, Grady, this is Daniel Kirby. How are you? They let me know, oh, I'm good. I say, hey, how's the weather out in what state? Whatever state they're in. Oh, it's hot, because it's hot everywhere. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm here in Dallas and I'm ready for the fall, man. So let me tell you a little bit about what I am and what I do. So I don't work for any of the insurance companies. I work with about 20 to 25 different carriers. Okay. And what this is today is this is what's called the qualification process. Okay. So we're going to see what we can get pre-approved for. Once we know what we're pre-approved for, we'll be able to look at different benefit options, pricings, what everybody wants to know in the first place. All right. We're going to figure out then what makes the most financial sense for us. And we're going to put in an application to see if we can get fully approved. Okay. In order to do those things, I'm going to need at least 3 important sensitive pieces of information: your ID, your social security number, and your bank account. Is that all right with you?
So right then this isn't, so just to clarify though, how long do you have to not take the live transfer and not get charged?
It depends on the vendors, but usually the average is about 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. So you got a good 2 minutes to talk to them. At 2 minutes and a second, we'll say, then you're charged at that point, whether you close it at that point or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right. Is that correct? So you have 2 minutes to kind of vet them out.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. So that's your open. Now what is a common objection that you'll hear at that point right there? No, I don't want to give you information.
To be honest, I haven't run into that.
No?
Very, very much.
You open it well. Like I'm ready to give you my social, like right now. Like
right. In the case that, I don't get a social, I have had it happen one time. I say, hey, I ask them if it's important to them. Is getting life insurance important to them? Because if it is, yes, this is important to me. Great. No matter who you talk to, whether it's me today, somebody else tomorrow, you're going to have to give them your social security number so that you can get life insurance. It's the only way for them to figure out whether you can actually get it or not. Right. So after that, if they're still not willing to give me their social security number, then again, that's within 2 minutes that I'm going to know whether or not they're actually serious about doing this.
That's awesome. Okay. So then I go, okay. And then at this point, are we 90 seconds in? So you've got like maybe, are there 2 more maybe qualifying questions you try to get in there right before the 2 minute mark? Or is there sometime an assumption that you just take, you're like, we're 80% good here? Yeah.
Usually at that point, like when they agree to those 3 things, for me, I'm usually, okay, let's get into it, so right at that point, going over my own health questions. So I say, hey, I do have a few of my own health questions. The reason why I work with so many isn't because the price is that different. Now, yes, some products and some benefits are a lot less expensive or more expensive along different companies, but it's because certain companies will approve certain medical conditions that other won't. And the most important thing that we're going to do today is find somebody that you can actually qualify for. Okay. And then I just kind of dive right into, the inventory sheet. After that point, that's actually when I figure out the why. I wait until after I understand their health conditions to see what their goal for their life insurance is, just because I don't want to waste time before finding out what I think they can actually qualify for. By going through them saying, I want $250,000 term at 65 years old and they had a heart attack 10 years ago, right? Because if I know that and then they're telling me their goal, it's a very easy, hey, sorry, we can't do that because of this, right? Instead of then wasting more time at the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And there's a lot of power too. And like, if you could, get a client to say yes 7 times, they'll say yes when you get them to buy. If you're getting them talking about just common, like, yeah, I weigh X and my height is Y and I make this and I take these, if you get them talking, like they've said so much to you that by the time you push them in a point, like, so why is this really important, Bob? What are you really trying to protect? So what would happen to Mary if you happen to die? Right. And so that they'll get a little bit more serious with you because they just opened their entire life playbook up to you. And now you're asking the more tougher questions, which, I mean, that's brilliant to do, especially virtually or over the phone, because when you're sitting in the home, they can't just push you out. We ask that question generally early on in the home because we're sitting right face to face. They can see I'm a caring person. but then you need more validate, more trust built, which comes through asking them all those questions and medications and how many kids you have and that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Brilliant, dude. I love how you swapped that. That's very helpful. So,
Absolutely.
Keep going.
So once I figure out what their goal is, let's say, most of them are saying, oh, I want final expense, but I'd also like to leave some money, right? So I say, okay, so the first point is that the most important thing is final expense. And then I say, if budget allows it, we'd like to leave something extra, right? Because a good amount of times, just like we all know, we're dealing with middle American people, right? And with that, not everybody can afford a $200-300 a month policy, right? So of course we would all love to leave 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. But if budget doesn't allow it, let's at least take care of the main goal, right? So I make sure that they understand or I figure out too, what the main goal is, right? If the main goal is final expense, and then it's also leaving something behind, obviously the main goal is final expense. So if budget allows it, then we can leave something extra, right? So it kind of allows me to be able to down close if needed, because I go back to that, hey, do you remember we said that the most important thing was cover the final expenses, and if our budget can allow it, then we can add on.
Yeah.
Right. So in that situation, at that point, I'm going straight into my pre-approval, usually, with Americo, start putting everything in, get them to do the email signature for the health authorization, let it come back. At that point, that's when I will start getting into prices and everything and quotes and benefits, because I don't want to give anybody a quote until I've actually, at least with Americo, seen that, hey, they're pre-approved for this, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste time going between different carriers, looking at different numbers, getting them excited about something that I don't even know if they can get or not. Then they're going to be mad at me when I tell them, hey, sorry, can't get this.
Oh, I forgot I had a heart attack. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I slipped my head.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. So at that point, I still, I give them 3 different options based on, what I think is best from their budget and what they explain to me. Ask them what's comfortable them. Usually getting, oh, that one sounds good. Okay, great. Let's see if we can get fully approved for that. Then at that point I go, hey, you remember those 3 things I asked you for? Well, we already got the social security number. Now I need you to go grab your banking information for me while we go through the rest of this application. So it does give them time to, if they don't have it right then and there on them, okay, let me go find a bank statement. Let me go into my phone and log into my mobile app, while I'm just going through the health questions. So by the time I get to the bank account, it's not me then again wasting 10, 15 minutes for them to go search for it.
It's great.
And at that point, man, it's just, it's the close. That's it. Once they're happy with it, they're approved. If, I can't get them approved right then and there with Americo, then we just pivot just like we do in the home.
So some good final expense structure. If you let's just use averages and we'll stick to averages. What is generally your, is it a percent? Is it a dollar amount? What do you show as far as dollar amounts, and how do you verbally say that over the phone? Like, how do you describe the price and the benefit to them when you're giving the 3 quotes?
So it depends on, I will, within that goal aspect of it, when I'm talking about the final expense, I will figure out whether it's burial or cremation. Typically for, if it's, let's say it's burial, I'm going to show them 10, 20, 30. I like to give them a nice range of what to expect. Let them know, hey, we can go in increments of 1,000, but I do want you to see a good range so that we can, figure out what does actually make the most sense for you. Okay. If it's cremation, and, also depends on their budget as well. If I feel like they've only got $100 left after what they make, there's no reason for me to show them 30,000. There's just no reason for it. So maybe at that point, if it's burial, I'll show them 10, 15, 20, right? So I still want to give them 3 different options, or maybe I'll throw in like a 7, 10, 12, like, again, depending on their age, we kind of have a general idea of what it's going to be. Cremation, I usually stick around 5, 10, 15, because like I said, I at least always want to make sure I'm covering goal number 1, which was final expense, right?
Got it.
If we can cover goal number 2, we can, great. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, do you say it's 7,000 of whole life coverage? Like, how do you describe the benefit? Do you say it includes 3,500 of accidental? I mean, what do you,
So I talk about, I use the final expense benefit handout that's on the FFL America site, the one that we can print out, the 10 final expense. So once I get them pre-approved and I know we're going the final expense route, okay, so you pre-approved for a level death benefit product, here's what it consists of, and I just straight go down that list, right? So they know what all their benefits are, right? So when it's getting to the price point, you know, I say, okay, with 10, remember, we have 20,000 of accidental built in as well. So if it's 20, it's 40,000, 30 is 60,000, okay? And I, you know, reiterate to them that, you know, these were the benefits that we were pre-approved for. These are the benefits that's coming with that Americo Eagle product, okay? And I go through it with them. So I say, okay, 10 with the extra 20 is $30. 20 with the extra 40 is 60. 30 with the extra 60 is 90.
Okay.
And I pause, you know, because I already told them I was going to show them 3, so they're not expecting to hear any other numbers from me. So I pause. You know, if I got to wait 30 seconds, a minute for them to start talking, I got to wait 30 seconds for a minute to start talking, though. However, usually they go, okay, yeah, so you said 20 was how much? Okay, yeah. Well, what about 15? Or, you know, okay, yeah, that 20 sounds good. Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, so what we're going to do then, we're going to see if we can get you fully approved for that. Go grab your bank information if you haven't already grabbed it for me, like we asked about earlier, and let's get this finished up, okay?
That's awesome. Now, do you text them anything throughout the call or at the end of the call to kind
So
of?
at the end of the call, once everything is done, submitted, I let them know that I'm going to send them a text from my personal cell phone number. It's going to start with my first and last name so that they can lock it in. I tell them I'm going to send them the carrier name, the coverage details, the product information, the premium, and the policy number. So I send, like, if it's, let's say it's an Americo Eagle, I'll have my name, Daniel Kirby, at the top. Then it'll say, you know, carrier, Americo, product, Eagle Premier Whole Life, coverage. If it's 10,000, I'll have 10,000 dash 20,000 premium, $34.76 a month. First payment today, or if they had to push it out, whatever that first payment day is. Recurring payment, first of the month. And then policy number at the bottom. And on the phone, I tell them, because it's with text, it's kind of hard to, you know, tell the difference between a 0 and an O. And so I make sure I say, hey, in the policy number, just know that the only 2 letters in the policy number is the first 2, the A and the M, and then the rest are numbers.
It's good.
They usually say, okay, great, thanks. I tell them, once you get that check, what's up?
The way you described it is very professional, right? When that comes through, it looks like a very professional text. Like a well-structured, automated type, you know, almost computer-generated level text.
Yeah, and then I just ask them, you know, send me a thumbs up or a smiley face once they got that text, just so I know that they got it.
Cool. Okay, a couple final rapid-fire questions. How many do you generally get in a day?
Depends on the day. Let's say anywhere between 5 to 8.
How many could you get?
Oh, you could get as many as you want.
So the vendors can just keep coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're setting yourself up and you want to do it 8 to 5 and you've got 13 different states in there, pretty much starting at 8, you're going to get your first call. And every time you hang up with that client, within 1 to 3 minutes, you're getting your next call. It is so rapid fire with it.
How cool, man. So you could get as many as you want. What's your best day you've done on live transfers?
My best day was actually, I think my first day, where I had 6 of them, closed 5.
What a month in a day. That's awesome, brother. So, okay. So the option is, and so now you still run appointments, you still run other leads. You just layer these onto your business. Now you were the one that kind of pioneered. What was your pioneering revelation you had? I don't want to steal it, that you kind of turned them on a specific day.
Right. So what I decided to do and what I'm doing right now is I am continuing to dial on Mondays and Thursdays, but I'm dialing from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. because as most of us know, that's our prime dial time. So on Mondays and Thursdays, I'm supplementing in there from that 11 to 5 with live transfers, you know. So that's giving me 2 extra field days, 2 extra days to make sales, right? For Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, when I'm booking the appointments, I'm trying to book them all from about 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. If I do that, I'm going to book still 10 appointments at an hour in between each other. And then from 8 to 3 in the morning on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I'm running live transfers. And if I end up having to have a 8 a.m. appointment, let's say on a Tuesday, and then my next one's not till 3 because of the way that I did that, guess what? I'll go to my 8 a.m. I'll go pull into a McDonald's parking lot or somewhere, and I'll sit there and I'll turn my live transfers on, and I'm running live transfers until my next appointment.
How from you flicking the switch in the software, how long till they start coming in generally?
Oh, it's within 5-10 minutes.
This is a game changer, guys. Game changer. What's your goals now? Now that with this new layered on lead source and your skills that you've developed? Now let's just be crystal clear. We go back to the beginning of the call. Daniel's been here. He's in his 11th month. So for all of you that are in your first month or third month or fifth month and you don't have the word tracks down like Daniel does, then don't slow down. That's the magic. Is Daniel started and now he's a thoroughbred now. He's ran around the track, tripping over himself, eating stale corn until now he gets fresh filet because he's figured it out.
And that's one thing I would definitely recommend is like, I would not be able to do these live transfers the way that I do and be successful at them if I did not spend time in the field, if I did not learn from my mistakes in the field and learn how to overcome objections in a house. Because if it's again, it's so much easier for a person to click a little red button and hang up on you than it is to kick you out of their house, right? Just like we've said. So if you spend time to learn all those things while you're in the house, you just translate it then into your live transfers and your telesales. If it wasn't for me getting my teeth kicked in, even in my first month, 2 months, 3 months of this business, I would not be able to do this right now.
I love it, man. I appreciate the candidness, and we congratulate you on your venture and the success you're having and the success you're going to continue to have in the agency you're going to now train from you creating this now successful path. And so drop a DK in the comments below. Daniel Kirby, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time. Appreciate all you shared in your insight. You're going to help a lot of people, and it's wonderful to see you starting to just crush it up the leaderboard, first column club every single week now. And it's just doing your job, protecting families that requested coverage. That's
it, man.
Life's good, brother. Any final words?
I think we covered it all. I just, don't make any big changes. If you're going to go into the live transfers, take it one thing, one day at a time. If you're doing something that's working, we always say don't fix something that's not broken. It's still okay to add new things, but, test the waters first. Don't just go right into it and then find out that, hey, I can't do this way. I can't do this way. Figure out how it's going to work for you and just make it work for you, because it's going to work differently for all of us.
Amen, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a tremendous day. Looking forward to seeing you continue to run up leaderboards.